call it winter's last gasp. And it's a big one. Snow has returned to Colorado. In northern Colorado, it is dumping. Estes Park has already gotten more than a foot. The rest of us are going to have to wait for the snow to stick, but it's coming. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Christensen.
And I'm Phil Lipoff. We are under a weather impact alert right now because of what Kim just mentioned. It stretches through Thursday morning. We want to get straight to Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin with the forecast. I know, Kathy, you've been waiting for something like this all winter, and it's great that we're getting it, but it does pose a bit of danger for some folks.
It absolutely does. And we're out of practice driving in the heavy snow. This is a particularly cold and strong spring storm that's already bringing heavy wet snow to the mountains. And we're forecasting heavy wet snow overnight in Denver as we see the arrival of a cold front bring in some of the coldest air that we've seen in weeks. Once the system moves out in 24 hours, concerns for a hard freeze and what that means for trees, plants, and tender vegetation, as well as pipes. People have turned on their sprinkler systems. So heavy rain right now in Denver. We love that. It's been heavy snow all day in Fort Collins. Up in Vail, they've had several inches of snow. Up again in the Estes Park area, 14 inches of snow. And this thing is just getting started. You can see how heavy and wet the snow is on these tree limbs, which are weighted down. Trees in your yard will need some help from you to get that heavy wet snow off the limbs. We are under a winter storm warning in the mountains as we speak. We go under that winter storm warning here in Denver at 8 o'clock tonight, and we have winter weather and travel advisories surrounding that warning. And that's because Denver's looking at 4 to 8 inches of snow overnight tonight, which means a slow morning drive tomorrow and winter driving conditions in the foothills where 1 to 2 feet of snow is expected. The radar is pretty busy already, and the cold front isn't here yet. So we're already seeing moderate snow in the northern and central mountains, rain and snow from Highlands Ranch up to Denver, south to Castle Rock and Perry Park, where up to 10 inches of snow are possible. The pink line is the rain snow line, flipping back and forth from Littleton and Ken Carroll to Highlands Ranch and the Cherry Hills Village. But later on tonight, it's going to go to all snow, and it will turn heavy at times, and this will continue right through the morning drive tomorrow. So much more on how much snow you're going to wake up to tomorrow, and then what we do about that freeze warning once the storm moves out.
Kathy, thank you. Right now, roads are just wet in the Denver metro area. They should stay that way, at least for now, Kathy just told you. But by tomorrow, we could wake up to a pretty big mess for the morning commute. Just within the last 2 hours or so, Aurora Public Works rolled out 24 snow plows citywide. They say plow drivers will be working around the clock tonight through tomorrow afternoon or until the snow stops. They'll be focused on the main roads first before getting to the side streets. And they say be patient if the snow does start to pile up.
Just be patient with us. We're going to be out there. We're going to be pulling it off the road. Again, I don't know that we'll have a lot of accumulation on the road, but we won't have 7 inches, even if we get 7 inches of snow. But we will have, a decent amount on the roads, and just let us get it off.
It is easier to be patient when you know it's the last gasp rather than the beginning of the winter. CDOT will also have about 100 plows out across Metro Denver, focused on interstates, of course, in the major roads first.
All that snow could cause problems for our plants and trees. That's what everyone is kind of worried about at this point. Experts say wet, heavy snow can really weigh down the branches, cause them to break. Most established plants should be able to handle the storm just fine, but newer or more sensitive plants should struggle in those cold temperatures. Overall, experts say that they expect the good will outweigh the bad with this storm.
Mostly good. I think, the moisture, Colorado desperately needs that moisture for the drought. So I think it'll be mostly good. We just got to keep an eye on those new plants and those tree branches. But I'm really hoping that moisture just helps everything in the landscape.
And that moisture will bring some much needed water to drought-stricken yards and gardens. I mean, the ground is just like crunchy right now. Colorado law allows people to keep more than 100 gallons of rainwater that falls from their rooftops.
But we had a couple questions. How about snow melt or just capturing piles of snow altogether? 9 News reporter Marshall Zellinger learned about what you can and what you can't keep from your own property, Marshall.
Phil, this goes back 10 years. In 2016, Colorado lawmakers allowed you to be able to keep 2 55-gallon barrels of rainwater without impacting anybody's water rights. Well, with Inches of heavy, wet snow on the way. Does Colorado law say anything about, putting giant containers out to catch snow today that you can use later in the summer? That peaceful sound is also a welcome sight for yellow lawns. And with inches of snow forecast through Wednesday, there will be more moisture than those lawns know what to do with at once. Colorado law allows you to snag rain in a barrel. But what about keeping snow?
The idea behind it was to get people thinking about water conservation and saving some precipitation.
Democratic State Senator Jesse Danielson sponsored the rain barrel bill in 2016, which allows you to collect two 55-gallon barrels worth of precipitation from a rooftop downspout. It's known as a rain barrel. What about snow?
I guess, Marshall, what I would say is I wrote the rain barrel bill. I'm not sure I'm the rain barrel police.
I mean, it is in the sense that snow is precipitation, yes.
Jason Ullman is the state engineer and head of the Division of Water Resources. He explains that homes and development impact previous water rights.
Because the condition before your house existed is what those water rights were used to. That water was previously falling on the ground and soaking into the ground and coming out in the stream.
Agriculture users in municipal water districts rely on water that falls from your home and eventually makes it into the streams and rivers where they access their water.
You are depriving them or depleting the stream by collecting it and using it on your property instead.
And the rain barrel law defines the water as precipitation, which would include snow, and limits the amount to 2 rain barrels totaling 110 gallons.
So that's primarily the reason why it's not allowed that you couldn't just cover your yard in plastic and collect all of the precipitation and then pull the plastic at the end of the day and let it soak in.
I just love that this law is making people think about conserving water in such a way they're thinking about capturing snow.
You know what I didn't take into consideration is if you're going to catch heavy, wet snow, that's probably perhaps the weight of someone like me. How are you going to get it out of the yard to save it for another time unless it melts or evaporates or you tip it over? Like, it's like picking up a kiddie pool in the backyard. So I didn't take that into account. Oh, putting a kiddie pool, that's actually a smart idea too, I guess. But you can't do it because you can only keep 110 gallons or apparently 1 Marshall Zellinger in a bucket.
I don't know how you did that, how you got in there.
It's super
but
impressive.
it's a great point. And this kind of snow, as you know, it's like concrete, It's so heavy. So
I don't know why I thought about this, but those giant garage containers or something you'd have in the basement, just empty them out, put them in the yard. Someone in the newsroom asked me, who's the police for this? What if you catch 111 gallons or 1,000 gallons and it's a complaint basis to the Division of Water Resources, and as of today, in 10 years, 0 complaints?
I
There's
love
the
it.
answer.
Those empty
No police.
containers it's a good idea,
Right,
Marshall.
drag them out. They usually sports equipment, stuff like that.
Yeah,
just bring it
just
out.
pull it out.
Marshall, thank you. All right, so this is a good day, and tomorrow will be too, to cancel plans and stay indoors. Several outdoor events have already called it because of this storm. Before Red Rocks looks like this again, tomorrow's show has been rescheduled. These photos were taken back in March, by the way. It was supposed to be Bright Eyes and Ben Queller tomorrow night. Instead, they'll play next Tuesday, the 12th. So far, David Guetta has not rescheduled his show tonight. Man, do I want to go to that. For the second day in a row, the Rockies game will not go on as scheduled. Tonight's game has been postponed, so no baseball at Coors Field at all tonight anyway. The Rocks will make it up Thursday afternoon. And tomorrow's game pushed back. Instead of a 1:10 first pitch, it's a 7:20 p.m. first pitch to avoid the storm.